Let's continue our story. In the previous episode, we talked about how, in the 1st century CE, the Jewish people were expelled from Jerusalem by the Romans, beginning their long exile and thousand-year diaspora. But even though the Jews left, the story of Jerusalem did not end. This ancient city continued to play a central role in the unfolding of history. About 2 centuries later, Christianity finally ushered in its dawn, and its rapid rise was closely tied to one remarkable emperor, Constantine the Great. According to legend, before a decisive battle in Italy, Constantine looked up at the sky and saw a brilliant cross shining above him. Beneath it appeared a line of golden words, "In hoc signo vinces," by this sign you shall conquer. He took it as a divine vision. That night, he ordered all his soldiers to paint the symbol of the cross on their shields. The next day, in the famous Battle of the Milvian Bridge, his army achieved a stunning victory. Convinced that the Christian God had granted him success, Constantine embraced Christianity and began promoting it throughout the empire. With his support, Christianity spread rapidly, transforming from a persecuted faith into the dominant religion of Rome and, eventually, of all Europe. In 330 CE, at the age of 51, Constantine reunified the fragmented Roman Empire and moved its capital to Byzantium, later renamed Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul. This city stood at the crossroads of Europe and Asia, linking the Black Sea and the Mediterranean, making it a perfect center for both trade and military strategy. He also chose to move east because the Western Roman territories had grown weak and were constantly attacked by northern tribes such as the Germanic peoples. After establishing his new capital, Constantine strongly supported Christianity, which soon became the official religion of the Roman Empire. Still, many historians believe that Constantine's so-called divine vision may have been more political than miraculous. Unlike the old polytheistic religions of Rome, with countless gods and conflicting cults, Christianity was a monotheistic faith centered on one supreme deity. Such unity of belief offered a powerful advantage for imperial control. It could bring moral discipline and ideological cohesion to a vast and diverse empire. Constantine clearly understood this, and his embrace of Christianity likely had as much to do with governance as with faith. Constantine's mother, Saint Helena, was another extraordinary figure. A devout and learned woman, she had a deep interest in architecture and archaeology. After her son became emperor, she journeyed to Jerusalem with a grand vision to transform it into the holy city of Christ. In Jerusalem, Helena commissioned the construction of the magnificent church of the Holy Sepulchre, built over the site believed to be Jesus' tomb. This church still stands today and remains one of the most sacred sites in all of Christianity. It was said to house many holy relics: the stone on which Jesus lay after his crucifixion, the column where he was scourged, the crown of thorns, and even the silver platter said to have held the head of John the Baptist. Pilgrims venerated these relics with such fervor that some even tried to bite off small pieces as souvenirs. So many, in fact, that many relics had to be sealed away for protection. Helena also built the Chapel of the Ascension on the Mount of Olives, marking the place where Jesus was said to have ascended into heaven. Through her devotion and construction projects, she helped establish Jerusalem as the spiritual heart of Christianity and was later canonized as a saint. For the Jews, however, life under Christian rule became increasingly harsh. Constantine forbade them from living permanently in Jerusalem. They were only allowed to enter the city once a year, on the 9th day of the Hebrew month of Av, to mourn their lost temple and city. Only those who converted to Christianity were permitted to stay. In 395 CE, the Roman Empire officially split into 2 parts: the Western Roman Empire and the Eastern Roman Empire, Byzantium. The Western Empire gradually declined and finally fell to the Germanic tribes in 476 CE, leaving the Byzantine Empire as the sole heir to Roman legacy. During the reign of Emperor Justinian I, Byzantium entered its first golden age. He reconquered much of Italy, North Africa, and Spain, restoring the Mediterranean as a Roman lake. But the constant wars exhausted the empire's treasury and strength, leading eventually to decline. Meanwhile, far to the east, the long-dormant Persian Empire rose again under the Sasanian dynasty. Its ambitious ruler, Khosrow II, who called himself King of Kings, sought to revive the glory of ancient Persia. His formidable general, nicknamed the Royal Boar, led Persian armies to capture Jerusalem. Some Jewish exiles in Persia joined his campaign, briefly returning to their ancient homeland. Yet their joy was short-lived. The Persians soon turned against them and drove them out once more. Not long after, the Byzantine Emperor Heraclius launched a counterattack. In 628 CE, he retook Jerusalem, defeating the Persians and restoring the true cross to the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. For this victory, Christians hailed Heraclius as the first crusader, the man who reclaimed the holy city. But while the Romans and Persians were locked in endless war, a new power was quietly rising nearby. In the desert city of Mecca, a man named Muhammad began a mission that would change the world forever. And in the next chapter, we will tell the story of Muhammad and the birth of Islam.